There can be some quite serious consequences for cyberbullying behaviour under the criminal law, particularly where the conduct, the behaviour is seriously threatening, harassing or intimidating. One of the main offences is an offence under the Commonwealth Criminal Code Act under the head of misuse of telecommunication services. So that's a fancy set of words for use of internet or mobile phone. And the main offence that seems to be attracting attention at the moment is using telecommunication services, the internet or mobile phone, to menace, harass or cause offence. So for example, there was a successful prosecution in Queensland relatively recently of a particular case where a fake Facebook site was established, an offence under the Commonwealth Criminal Code Act, resulting in up to a maximum of 3 years imprisonment. So there are also a range of state and territory laws that would attach to the sort of cyberbullying conduct and behaviour. Probably the most prominent amongst those is the stalking offence, and there was a recent case in Victoria where a young man took his own life after he received some threatening texts from a former friend, and the prosecution proceeded under the Victorian Crimes Act under the head of stalking. But there's other offences as well. For example, a simple threat to kill by email or by text could be a threat to kill under the Queensland Criminal Code. That carries a very serious criminal consequence. An assault, you can assault someone by only threatening to assault them. You don't actually have to physically carry out that threat. So there's another offence. And more recently we're seeing some criminal privacy breach offences being legislated. So that's the situation where there's been an unauthorised visual recording that's of a private act or something done in private that's then been published. The sorts of private acts that are captured by these criminal privacy offences are the sorts of things you would imagine: showering, toileting, engaging in sexual activity. So you could see a situation arising, for example, in one of our residential colleges where someone thought it was a joke to film someone else in the shower and put it up on a YouTube. Well, that resonates with a recent case that we also saw in the ACT of some young cadets engaging in sexual activity that was then Skyped to another area. That's the sort of criminal privacy breach that could result in quite serious criminal consequences in terms of jail sentences and the like. So in addition to criminal consequences for behaviour, it's always possible that a particular individual might sue for damages, monetary damages, in the civil law. And the sorts of causes of action we see there most commonly are defamation. There's also a civil claim for assault on the person. And there's a developing area of law around a common law right to privacy, which might be offended. So criminal law, civil law, and then there are the range of discrimination and vilification offences. So you can incur some penalty because you've discriminated against someone on the basis of the usual things: gender, ethnicity, disability, religious orientation, and that might be the basis on which someone cyberbullied another person.